Hi, this is James Sugg with Westpac London's end of day report for Thursday the 9th of August. Well, another very sort of flat day on equity markets really. And not too much news to report. We had in the US a 6,000 fall in initial jobless claims, which is the weekly measure of layoffs in the US. No distortions really apparent in those data, so it does suggest that along with the stronger payrolls figures we saw for July, both from ADP and also the official data, that maybe the US labour market is doing a little bit better as we move into the second part of the year. The US trade deficit narrowed by about $5 billion in the month of June, with exports up 0.9% and imports down 1.5%. The real trade deficit also narrowed by 3 or 4 billion, so that suggests there could be an upward revision to the contribution that net exports make to the second quarter estimate of GDP. Other data showed a small fall in wholesale inventories and a slight uptick in mortgages in delinquency, although that was just seasonal, we think. Canadian trade deficit was wider. The UK trade deficit also widened. Actually, it widened to more than 10 billion in June, the second highest on record, with exports down 8% and imports also falling, but by nowhere near as much. The public holiday arrangements for the Jubilee would have distorted those figures, but there is a sense that well, in fact, Mervyn King said it yesterday, that the UK economy is taking a long time to adjust to a more of an export-driven, less consumption-driven economic growth story. Now, consumption is certainly weaker, but exports aren't taking the place of weaker consumption, and that's why the UK economy is struggling at the moment. So figures there backing his story. We had the European Central Bank publish the latest survey of forecasters. The average forecast for European GDP growth this year of other forecasters was revised down from -0.2% to -0.3%. Our view is it's going to come in closer to -1%, so still a bit of conservatism apparent there. We get the second quarter GDP numbers for Europe out next week. Had Otmar Issing, former ECB council member and chief economist, saying he didn't think the ECB buying sovereign bonds was the way to go, but then he's not there anymore. It's like Greenspan telling you how to run monetary policy, really, I suppose, isn't it? On that note, let's a quick look at markets. And we've got in London the FTSE up 0.1%, the French market up 0.5%, Germans flat on the day, the Spanish are down 0.5%, and the Italians are flat on the day as well. The Dow, this is at 7:15 in the evening in London, the Dow's flat on the day as I speak, with the S&P flat and the Nasdaq flat. And on the commodity markets, they are pretty much flat today, with copper prices flat, silver prices flat, gold up 0.25%, and oil up 0.25% as well at $93.61 a barrel. The Aussie dollar's unchanged from where it was yesterday at 1.057 against the US dollar, and we've got the Reserve Bank delivering its quarterly statement on monetary policy on Friday in Sydney. Look forward to that.